Hello.
Hello, you've given us some fantastic advice recently, and I have another question for you. So today's question I want to put to you with your leadership, training, learning and development background that you've developed over all these many years. I want to ask you a big question. What do you think it takes to be a great leader?
Wow, you're coming up with some questions, I'll tell you that. So to be a great leader, yeah. So I want to start answering this question by talking in terms of leadership being different from management, and leadership demanding a followship, whereas manager is more operational. It's more ensuring that the plan gets done, as it were. So leadership is a different quality to this. And if I can draw on my own experience, probably to tell you what leadership is not, and then we'll build from that. When I first started a particular job, I had one of these town hall meetings, where all of the directors kind of present the sales figures of the quarter and tell you basically how things are going, etc., etc. And it happened to be during the double dip a few years back. The sales figures were all going in a nice downward curve, and everything. And they were basically saying, this is the economy of the European market. It's nothing we can do about it. It's just how it is. But everything's changing. The way in which we're operating is going to change. Our products are going to change, etc. And one bloke put his hand up and he said, how do we get out of this? And all of the leaders, the senior leaders, looked at each other and shrugged their shoulders and said, I don't know. And I thought, oh, good grief. What are you if you can't get us out of this? You're just an operational manager, really, with a fancy title. So that's what leadership is not.
Yeah.
So leadership for me is having the vision of the future. It's understanding what's happening in the economy, in the political system, in legislation, in all of those factors, and building it into some plan of the future. And a true leader is the one that can articulate what that future is going to look like for you and for me and everybody else that's working for them. And that creates, I think, that sense of followship, because we're prepared to try to build that future with him or her.
So a manager, to recap what you said, is the one that just gets the job done. And a leader is not someone that looks around to everybody else for the answers, but a leader is the one that can articulate what the future is and what that's going to look like for the people within it.
Absolutely right. Yeah. And if you want to draw from history, you look at terrific speeches of the past, like Martin Luther King, the I Had a Dream speech, got everybody motivated, everybody thinking, yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I was thinking of it actually. That's yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a true leader, because that demands that we follow or we don't. Whereas a manager is getting us to do the day-to-day tasks, is ensuring that the plan actually happens in reality, and that everything that we do on a day-to-day basis is moving us a little bit further forward towards that vision, getting us inching towards that vision.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here now then, and just ask you, who in your career has led you and inspired you?
Wow. that is really putting me on the spot. So if I can take it out of direct experience to someone, I mean, it is that goosebump kind of feeling that you just mentioned there. And someone that gives me the goosebumps is Simon Sinek. I absolutely love what he has to say. And so from a leadership perspective, I'm prepared to follow him. And why am I prepared to follow him? Because he has that view of what the future should be like, which actually is really aligned to my personal value system, which makes me feel comfortable in that to begin with. But then secondly, he puts it in such a simple, easy to understand way that I go, yes, I get that, and I can see how I can do something towards what that new utopia state would look like.
Can you give me
So
an
for me,
example of
Simon
something
Sinek,
you might have said then? Again, that is on the
an
spot.
example.
Yeah.
Well, there's a recent example actually, because when we first went into lockdown, there was all that confusion. If you remember the what's going on, what's going to happen with my company, my job, etc., etc.
Mm.
And I saw him on a LinkedIn video address his team, and you had all of the squares of the team going around the screen. And he sat there and he said, look, this is the new normal. We are going to have to reinvent ourselves for the future. But it's not a bad thing. Man has always done it. And he gave examples of things like the use of the internet and how that destroyed some companies. But it was the ones which had that forward thinking and saw that they could adapt the operational plan and still maintain the vision of what the future looked like for the organization. And he said, look, basically, I need all your help. I need your help to think in terms of how are we going to reinvent ourselves? And I guess that's another aspect of being a true leader for me, is that you don't take all the burden on your own shoulders.
Yes.
You know, you've got a load of people there who are skilled, who have got knowledge and qualities which you need to draw out and draw on.
Yeah, that's a brilliant example. Thank you very much.